All right, good afternoon. It is section 1-9 area formula today. And I know you've talked about area before. And today it looks like area of a rectangle, which with a formula for this is going to be length times the width. Okay, so length times width is how you go about finding the area of what's inside this actual space. And again, it is a two-dimensional figure. And we'll talk about also our units of measurement that we need to be making certain we label everything correctly. Length is always going to be our longest length of our rectangle, and width is going to be our shortest length of that rectangle. So let's look at letter A. And again, we're going to always write down the formula, length times width. This is just a good habit to get into. And as the further on we go and get into more complex formulas, we're certainly going to need to make certain that we are writing them down and plugging that information into it. Again, staying organized in mathematics is half the battle and will help ensure that we get the correct answers. So my length again is going to be my longest, which is 12, and my width is going to be the 7. And it's a matter of just simply multiplying the two of them together. And no calculators today. We're going to multiply these out. So we get 14, carry the 1, and we get 8. So 84 is my answer, but it's not just 84. We have to remember that we have units of measurement, and it is going to be not just inches, but square inches, because you are literally trying to find out, drawing this very well, hard to do on this screen. You're literally trying to find out, and we're going to draw 12 different boxes along here is what would end up happening. And then we'd have all these little squares, and they would be 7 inches. Those aren't drawn very well with the scale. Let me make this a little more understandable. But anyhow, you're going to have all these little squares inside this particular shape, and you would count up all those squares. Now this is not drawn to scale, my apologies, but that is how that would all end up working out, and you'd have these squares because it is how many inches, square inches, measure for that particular shape. So you have to be real careful on doing that when we talk about this. And the unit of measurement, if it is not on there, it is incorrect. Okay? If it were just inches, then all we would be measuring is the distance around the figure, which again is our perimeter. So let's look at the next one, and I'm going to let you go ahead and do this letter B. Do not do this one over here. Just leave this one B by itself. So go ahead and do letter B. Alright, now we have 10 feet and 4 feet. So we take my length times my width, and my length is going to be 10, my width is going to be 4, and you're simply going to multiply those together, and we have a total of 40. And it is not just 40 feet, it is 40 square feet. And I know that we read this as 40 feet squared. Make sure that you don't write 40 square feet, because what does this actually mean? That's actually an exponent you just put on there. So now it's 40 times 40. So please make sure. I know we read it square feet, but it is squared is on the feet itself. Now do letter C. Go ahead and hit pause and solve that. Alright, so now this is an actual square. They only give you one unit of measurement, so we can safely assume that this other side is going to be 8. In fact, all of those sides are going to be 8. So my length times width will be 8 times the 8, and 8 times 8 is 64, and it is going to be what kind of centimeters? Square centimeters. That's your answer to letter C. Again, if you're having difficulty on these, please make note of that, and we'll be happy to answer those questions in class tomorrow. Now this one here is a little more difficult. What they're asking you to do is to find the area of the shaded area. Okay, this is not shaded. Okay, this is not shaded, just if you were wondering. Okay, that is this part that's not shaded. We are looking for the green area. So go ahead and hit pause and solve this problem. All right, we are going to first try to find the area of the large rectangle. That's what we need to find first. So my length times width for the large rectangle is going to be 11 times the 7, which gives me 77 square centimeters. That's for the large rectangle. That's everything inside, including this area as well. Now what we need to do is find the area of this rectangle, which length times width, that's going to be 4 times the 3, which is 12 square centimeters. And we need to, since we already know all of what's inside of this, including that part, we need to remove this part from it. So we're going to take our 77 square centimeters and our 12 square centimeters, and we're going to subtract it, and we get 5 and 6, so 65 square centimeters. That is the area of only the green shaded part of this rectangle. This part is what we had to remove out of it to get the 65. Okay? Again, if you have questions, please make note of those, and we will discuss it further in class and help you get that deeper understanding. Hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.